So I'm definitely late on this topic. First off, a big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. But yeah, I'm definitely late on this topic. Between going to New York City 2 times last month, back to back. Shout out to Jersey Drake for Christmas and New Year's. I was definitely lost in the actual matrix to not get my thoughts out on this bit of news. But even, after its peak engagement, I still wanted to throw my, 15 cents into the discussion, especially as a Sixer fan. So on Christmas morning of all days, our boy, you know him very fondly, Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, decided to drop rumors regarding Mr. James Edward Harden prior to the Sixers game against the New York Knicks. This is what he had to say about the guard's future.
I'm told that James Harden is seriously considering a return to Houston in free agency this July. If he does not, if he decides against coming back to Philly on a new deal. Certainly a remarkable turn of events. There's a lot that's going to happen here in Philly. Possibility of an early exit in the postseason. The unsettling that would create with the Sixers. James Harden absolutely is considering the possibility of returning to Houston in free agency if he does not stay with the Sixers on a new deal.
Okay. Now, first of all, of course, ESPN would try and, throw a whole wrench in the good spirits of every single Philadelphia sports fan everywhere who were at that point watching their team win again and again on a 7-game winning streak and on a holiday, no less. No shame. Of course, Sixers slammed themselves. Anyway, the Sixers would go on to win that game because
the Knicks is trash. Simple as that.
And Harden would respond to the accusations of him wanting to leave Philadelphia back to Houston by saying,
I'm here. We're playing very, very well. And I don't know where that report came from, but I'm excited to be here and we're playing well and we're continuing to get better.
Now, throughout this whole time, listening to this joint, all I could honestly think of and only respond with will be a meme myself.
What do you mean by that?
Because that was, and once again is, the most sus Vegas response that I have ever heard. Now, it's quite obvious, in fact, that he is using this as leverage for contract negotiations this summer. Bull want his bag, so who can blame him? If I was accustomed to making millions of bucks, obviously, I wouldn't want it to stop. But the issue that I do have with James is the fact that, the actual timing of this drop leak, because, of course, I believe, it came from him. Of course, it could have came from another source, but who else would really come out with this information if it wasn't from the James Harden camp? Does it really have to be spilled to the media at this point, or at least in that point in the season, especially if Daryl Morey is your guy? Just, questions that I have. Anyway, all of this makes sense, him, saying that, I actually might leave to Houston if you mofos don't pay me. Because if the Sixers indeed lose in the playoffs anytime before the actual Eastern Conference final, there is no way in Furkan Korkmaz's shot that the Beard is getting a max deal. Because what would be the point doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? So, of course, James would want to walk. Bulls ain't going to pay him that Skrilla. So I guess what do we do as Sixer fans? Regardless, what I don't want to hear is Bulls or fans of the red, white, and blue saying that these rumors are not true because, dog, where there is smoke, there is fire. And let's not act like James Harden has never been like this before. Do y'all remember that time he was in Houston?
James, now that you've been in camp for about a week, do you feel any better about this situation now than you did before you arrived?
Next question.
Do y'all remember that time he was in Brooklyn?
Hey, James, there's some reports out today that suggest that you might not be happy in Brooklyn or can speak
Reports
to
from who?
all
right, then.
Bleacher Report.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The report suggested that you were unhappy.
You're talking about reports. I don't know about reports. Did you guys hear from me?
That's what I'm asking.
All right, so I don't know about no reports.
Mans is always passive aggressive about trade rumors. This is what Harden does. Dips to get in comfortable or more comfortable situations. This is what we signed up for when we got the ball. Anyway, Harden seems to be back to his old self, at least production-wise. I'm averaging 22, 6, and 10, as well as 36% shooting, 36% from three. Not quite like his old self, but, still putting close up to a triple-double. And despite what some commentators have said about the mans, he definitely still might command some lucrative cash on the market if he were to leave for free agency, and that's the risk that the Sixers might have to take. Now, personally, I wouldn't be too hurt if he did dip because, at least we would have cap space for actual new opportunities to tinker with down the road, or not even down the road, this summer. And maybe, just maybe, Harden would be a good bull and consider doing a sign and trade to where we would benefit from his departure, getting assets back. If you don't believe that is possible, we definitely did it with Jimmy Butler once upon a time. So, yeah, honestly, this is a non-starter story to begin with. Obviously, if we don't make it past the second round, we're obviously not going to sign him long term. And of course, the man, if he wants to get his, bread, is going to leave to go somewhere else. So yeah, Adrian Wojnarowski and the mainstream NBA media trying to throw a wrench in the 76ers season. Basketball must be fully in the swing of things. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.